Hey friends, what's up? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. In the eternal words of Paris Hilton, that's hot.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot.
Got away with the English language.
Now that's hot.
Today what I'm going to be doing is going through 4 different websites. 2 of them that cater more toward the fragrance community and people that are really into fragrances. And then 2 that cater more toward just your average person. And we're going to be contrasting and comparing what fragrances are the hottest to own right now, both for your average person and your fragrance person. So we're going to be going over a whole bunch of fragrances here, probably 30 at least. That way we can get a handle on what's hot right now. You guys, I'll have these linked in the description below. Feel free to check them out. And if you want some codes, to SoAvantGardeLuckyScent.com, TwistedLily.com, and MaxRoma.com, pause the video, get yourself some code. First website is going to be FragranceBuy.ca, Canadian fragrance discounter. Really, really well known, one of my favorites and one of the ones I shop at the most. I'm not going to be looking at fragrance nets because their bestsellers essentially have not changed over the past like 10 years, it feels like. They just never update their bestsellers. So it's not a good snapshot of what's actually selling right now, what's really hot, what people want. Instead, it's just some random crap that's been there forever. So I'm going to look at the top 12 here. And I think it's going to give you a really good idea of what people are buying right now from Fragrance Buy. So number 12 is Paris Corner's Wild and Tobacco. I own this one. It is a red tobacco clone. So a Mancera red tobacco fragrance. But this is a clone of red tobacco. It's actually a really nice one as well. Presentation looks good, very heavy in the hand. The quality here, quite good. And the price, right now, just under 30 bucks US. And clones, that's gonna be something you see a lot of here. The next one is from the same company, the same house, Paris Corner, and it's this one, Celestial. So this one just about the same price as the last one, and it's also a very, very good alternative to Ganymede. So 2 fragrances that are cheaper versions of much more expensive ones out there, which makes a lot of sense because people that are more into fragrances are more apt to know about stuff like this, whereas your average Joe is not. Number 10, Armaf Craze, just under 25 bucks. That is a clone of Parfums de Marly Pegasus. And that one has actually been a popular clone fragrance for years and years. The presentation is pretty ugly, but the fragrance itself is a great alternative. Number 9, Gentleman Eau de Parfum. So now we have an actual fragrance that's not a clone. Fantastic Irish fragrance, great for fall and winter time. And when you see fragrances like that, like Gentleman Eau de Parfum creeping up into the top 10 on websites like this, it's typically because they've been hard to find for a little while at discounters. And so when they finally pop back into stock, people scoop them up because they've been waiting for them. Number 8 is Fragrance World Star Men Nebula, which is a clone of Pure Malt. Similar price point to some of these other clones, just under 30 bucks. It's a really good clone, and I've done a video on that one. If you want more info on it, watch that video. Moving up to the next one, Frank Olivier Pure Addiction, which is similar to Baccarat Rouge 540. Just under $24 for that one. And that is one of the more popular BR 540 alternatives. I've seen that mentioned a bunch of times, and I actually still need to get that myself, so I'll pick it up soon. Interestingly enough, up next is Afnan's 9 AM Dive. Just under $33. Really good spring summertime fragrance. Got some similarities to some other blue scents out there. I think it's a really well done scent. And at number 5, Afnan's Rare Carbon for just under 28. Notice the price points here when we go back to retail so you can contrast and compare. Most of the things we've seen here are right around 30 bucks or less. Rare Carbon is a clone of Tom Ford's Ombre Leather, and it is another one that's very good. Number 4, Lattafa's Oud Amethyst. That one is just over $22. So again, very inexpensive. And this one is funny because when I first saw it, when I just looked at the picture really quickly, I thought it was Oud for Glory, but no, Oud Amethyst. And Oud Amethyst is a clone of Atomic Rose from Initio, which is why you're going to see the presentation basically just look like Initio. Number 3 is Amber Oud Exclusive Blue Edition. This one is more expensive, just under $60, and this one is a clone of Parfums de Marly Layton. Now, speaking of Layton, Layton is nowhere near the bestsellers list right now. I'm gonna keep this very short, but I find that interesting because Parfums de Marly fragrances, especially Layton, have typically been up toward the bestsellers when you're talking about at discounters. But that has changed here lately. They have started apparently making discounters list their fragrances at full retail. That has caused them to drop out of the bestsellers quite a bit. We will see if that changes or if the pricing goes back to what it was. We'll see. Number 2, Armaf Club de Nuit Intense. Makes sense. Most famous, most popular Aventus clone out there, just under $30. Number 1 is Lalique's Ombre Noir. About $58 for this one, and it is sick. This stuff smells awesome. I bought this when it popped up at Fragrance Buy because it's been kind of difficult to find. Absolutely 100% worth the money. Really high quality. It has a great booziness to it. It's very rich. It's sweet, but also spicy, and has like a little deepness, like a faint darkness to it. So there you go, there's Fragrance Buy. Let's take a look at Sephora. Now, we're gonna skip over any sponsored things. We're just gonna look at the top 10 bestsellers right now. And I say sponsored, that's where when you're looking at the listings, there's something that says sponsored in the middle of all the actual listings. Those don't count. So number 10, Ombre Leather from Tom Ford. And remember, Rare Carbon, which is an ombre leather clone, was selling really well at Fragrance Buy. The actual ombre leather goes from $150 up to $215, whereas the clone is about $28. Number 9 is the new light blue Summer Vibes, and number 8 is the original light blue. So light blues are apparently selling pretty well. Summer Vibes between $91 and $115, and then the original light blue tops out at $133. After that is Paco Rabanne's 1 Million, the original, which tops out at $138. 1 Million, big compliment puller, great selling fragrance. It still is obviously a top selling fragrance in the US. After that, Luna Rossa Ocean Eau de Toilette, which is the most popular Prada release right now, and that one tops out at $115. A nice blue scent, good versatility, clean as well. In the top 5, you have Eros, the original Eau de Toilette, which tops out at $130. Great versatility, big compliment factor, very sweet, that one. Number 4, bit of a surprise, Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense tops out at $128. I really like this fragrance. I have not been the biggest Born in Roma fan. I really enjoy Born in Roma Intense, and to see it all the way up there at number 4, above Eros, above 1 Million, above Light Blue, above Acqua di Gio Profondo, all this other stuff, shows you that that is working extremely well for a lot of people out there. So that one, that's a sick release. If you haven't smelled that, check it out. Number 3, Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. Number 2, Sauvage Eau de Parfum. Number 1, Y Eau de Parfum. So the top 3 are basically your 3 biggest blue fragrances right now. Bleu de Chanel EDP tops out at $184, Sauvage Eau de Parfum at $270, and Y Eau de Parfum at $199. Now do keep in mind that those are gonna be just enormous sizes. Like Sauvage Eau de Parfum, that's a 10-ounce bottle for $270. A normal 100 ml size is $145. But that's what people are buying at full retail. So when we compare that to what's selling at Fragrance Buy, there is absolutely no crossover in the top 10. So now let's hop over to Joma Shop. Joma Shop, they have a lot of things that come in and go. They have really good prices, and they also have a big selection of clones, and also their bestseller list actually changes as things sell. So let's do the top 12 on this one. Number 12, Mancera Instant Crush at $79.99 for a 4-ounce bottle. Really good pricing. Instant Crush has been compared to Baccarat Rouge 540. It's a big versatile fragrance, nice compliment puller, and unisex. Then we have at 11, Lattafa Ajwad. I have never smelled this. It is $18.43. And this one has been compared to Rose's Vanille, which is a Mancera fragrance. And honestly, anytime you have a Lattafa that's going for under $20, it's probably gonna sell pretty well because people are curious. Now the top 10, number 10 is Tiziana Terenzi's Kirke, $98.89 for 100 ml size bottle, full presentation, one of the most popular fragrances from the house. Quite a sweet one as well. Then we've got Aventus at number 9, a 100 ml size bottle for about $290. Now I know you say, $290? That's crazy expensive. That doesn't sound like much of a discount. It is. It's a pretty good discount because Creed Aventus at retail for a 100 ml size bottle is $495. Now it gets interesting, if you want to call it interesting. Number 8, Club de Nuit Sillage from Armaf, $31. A clone of Silver Mountain Water from Creed. Number 7, Club de Nuit Intense for men, a 6.8 ounce bottle for $43.64, obviously, an Aventus clone. Number 6, Club de Nuit Iconic for $53, and this one is a clone of Bleu de Chanel. Number 5, Armaf Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir for $43. So just Armaf. Number 4, Club de Nuit Milestone for $29. A really good deal. That's a clone of Millésime Imperial. Number 3, Mancera Cédrapoise for $85. The most popular fragrance from Mancera, and it's been compared to Aventus before. Big compliment puller. Number 2, Lattafa Fakar Black, $19, clone of Y Eau de Parfum. Number 1, Club de Nuit Intense Man, the normal size bottle, if you want to call it that, 3.6 ounces for $26. So there are your best sellers on Joma Shop, and guess what, guys? Clones. So the answer to the question of what is hot right now at fragrance discounters, what are people in the community buying? The answer is clones, discounted popular niche fragrances, like really popular niche, and clones. Now we go to Macy's to wrap it up. Macy's, I would say, is the biggest retailer of men's fragrances, ladies' fragrances as well, when you're talking about retail designers. I do kind of hate how they have everything set up because they break like one fragrance out into a whole bunch of different spots. So a lot of these fragrances are repeated over and over and over again. So we're just gonna take a look at the first page and wrap it up. The first fragrance that pops up is Sauvage Parfum. Again, makes total sense. It's freaking Sauvage. 2 ounces, $150. Again, the difference between what people will pay at retail versus what people pay at discounters, I mean, what people are looking to buy for that amount of money, they're quite different. $150 for a 2 ounce bottle of Sauvage Parfum. You could pretty much get 2 bottles of Mancera for that much. Now, I'm not saying that Dior should not be charging this price at retail. I'm just saying there's a very give me cheap mentality in the community. Then we have Acqua di Gio Profondo, a 4.2 ounce bottle, 160 bones for that one. Or you can get a 6.7 ounce Macy's exclusive for the low price of $185. Then we've got 1 Million once again making an appearance. Le Male de Parfum after that. Fantastic fragrance. And it looks downright cheap in comparison. 4.2 ounce for $116, or 2.5 for $90. Bleu de Chanel Parfum after that, 3.4 ounce for that, $178. Then we have Eros Eau de Toilette. A lot of the same fragrances here. Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense after that, $128 for a 3.4. Sauvage Elixir, followed by Eros Eau de Parfum, and the original Acqua di Gio after that. These have all been talked about ad nauseum because they are all extremely nice. Then we have Y Eau de Parfum after that, Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, and wrapping it up with Dior Sauvage, both the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum. And on Macy's right now, Sauvage Eau de Parfum is the #1 selling fragrance. So essentially it's Sauvage Eau de Parfum in the #1 spot, Sauvage Eau de Toilette in the #2 spot, and then Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum and Y Eau de Parfum after that. So when you look at Sephora and Macy's, there's a lot of crossover because one of the fragrances just outside the top 10 on Sephora is Acqua di Gio Profondo. There are some things that are selling better in one store versus the other, but a lot of the ones at the top are pretty much the same things. So what are those things? Well, basically, blue fragrances still are ruling the day. Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense is doing awesome and is actually making Valentino, believe it or not, one of the stronger men's designer brands out there right now. And then you have Versace Eros still crushing it, 1 Million still crushing it. Acqua di Gio actually losing a little ground versus a lot of these other lines. I mean, they're not doing bad, they're not hurting, just, you know, they're not number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And then of course, light blue is always gonna light blue. So, but there we go, guys. A look at what is hot right now, both on the discounter side, on the side of the fragrance community, what they're looking for, what they're buying. And I will guarantee you this, when fragrances like the Tux or Comra come into stock, they will shoot up toward the top of the bestsellers. The reason that those are not in the top 10 right now is because they're out of stock. People want them, but can't get them. Clones are really big right now. I think that's the moral of the story. So there we go. That'll do it for me. Thank you guys for hanging with me here. Let me know what you think about the price differences, what's selling, what's not. And thanks for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.